Hi everybody and welcome to this full 18-hole playthrough for the St Andrews Links 18-hole cup here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. This is Middle Tee, Pro and Expert Division. Please hit thumbs up if you don't mind. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well and hit the bell button, get notified when we upload content or go live. All 18 holes of St Andrews. There's a lot of easy ones here, but still good to have an approach and general way around this course before you get started. So please remember to tweak according to your club's balls and play style, and of course the wind directions that you will face during the tournament itself. Timestamps in the video description down below. Good luck everybody. Here we go. Straightforward par 4 here. We are going to need to get to the side of the green in all wind angles. You don't have to use a Thor's hammer. You can use extra mile, you can use Apocalypse, but obviously distance is good. You don't need a huge amount of topspin either. I'm only going with 2 bars of topspin and 2 left spin. Unfortunately though, when you stretch out, you can see there that you get different bounces depending where you land on the fairway. So I reduced down to 1 topspin. I don't want to roll into the rough at all. Loads of ways you can reach green. You can go with a power 10 ball and actually play with backspin rather than topspin, especially if you've got tailwind. And with a load of curl you could play aiming out further to the right and swing yourself on to get onto the green. Here I'm going with a couple of rings of overpower. Minor greats do not matter here, you have room. However, just look at the bounce here. Sometimes you're going to catch a glitch, sometimes you're going to do a double bounce over, but the principle is the same. Get to the side of green, max plus 10 for the wedge. Very, very easy to get to the green on this par 4 here. We're going to go with a driver that gives you topspin and distance. Extra mile, Thor's hammer, Apocalypse are fine here. 5 topspin, 2 right spin in straight tailwind, reduce the topspin. There are always chances for glitch rolls on St Andrews because the fairways are very bumpy, unfortunately, which doesn't make it wonderful in my opinion, but it is still very easy as long as you don't overdo the topspin. Max distance minus 5 elevation here, make sure you get that right. Max minus 5, no curl, centre the ball and hit perfect. Even in headwind there is a good chance of reaching the fringe or the green here. So this is an extremely simple par 4. Just thread the needle, get down there, and you've got a very, very easy wedge or a putt for your eagle. Now onto this hole here. Again, extremely easy to reach the green, so we're going to go with a katana. Actually, you could go with a navigator, to be honest, in some wind directions. You can see there I'm going with 3 bars of right spin. If you're going to drop down though and use a navigator or a quasar, you will need some right curl. 3 right spin means you're not going to need any curl, or rather very little. Don't overdo the top spin. There is always a glitch roll available here on this hole, as with other holes from St Andrews with the bumps, so I would rather be short for a wedge rather than try to save an eagle with my rough iron from the back of the green. Max plus 0, half a ball of curl to the right, no overpower. If you have crosswind, increase the topspin, and in direct headwind increase the topspin a little bit more, but you're not going to have a problem here. You can see I did actually catch the glitch roll there, but as long as you're conservative on the topspin, even with a glitch roll, you will still hold the green for a putt for your eagle. With this hole and headwind, it's going to be short iron play. Any other wind angle though, you are going to get to wedge distance very easily. I'm starting with the quarterback, and I'm starting here with the white ring touching the rough on the left at the top of plus 10. I'm going to play with a power 6 ball in the end, but first I'm adding my spin just to check the ball guide here, but I'm not going to go with 5 topspin. I'm going to switch to the Apocalypse, extra mile or Thor's hammer, and I'm going to go with 5.8 topspin, and then in the end I have half a bar of right spin to offset the wind angle, because that is going from right to left. Adjustment here in this wind angle is going to be max plus 10% elevation here. Just about get this shot away in time. Max overpower with a slow needle because we've set up with the quarterback. Hit perfect, and you're going to go down the fairway really nicely here. Obviously in crosswind, tailwind, you're going to get much more distance, and you are going to get to wedge range. Just avoid the rough on the right and the bunker on the left. But with headwind, and especially up in expert, it's going to be a thorn rings from min shot for your drop here. So I'm finding the min line, and then I'm going to have the ball guide through the hole, just having a look at the elevation there. When I add backspin here, I find there are some glitchy areas on the green. So what you need to do is push up from the min line in headwind and get around those glitch spots. So here I push up 3 rings, and then I apply backspin to get the ball guide just through the hole to account for the headwind push. Rings from min is 1% per ring on the slider, so 3 rings up from min, you're going to play 3% slider, and here I'm going with 5% elevation. Rings from min, there is an Academy tutorial on the channel homepage. Unfortunately here I hit a great right, however, knowing how much the great balls affect the aim on these clubs from my experience, perfect I'm fairly sure would have been in this instance, but I wanted to upload a headwind example rather than just a drive to green and a wedge or a putt. Par 5 now, and a lengthy 1-2. We're going to go in this headwind angle, setting up with the quarterback, blue ring touching the rough on the left at the top of +10 to give us room to adjust. Even in expert with a kingmaker, you will be fine to adjust from QB top of +10. Switching then to APOC or whatever driver you want to use, going with 5.8 topspin and 2 left spin. Adjust is max +10, and as we are setting up with the quarterback, we're not at max distance with the Apocalypse, so the overpower needle is nice and steady. 3/4 ball curl to 0.8 ball curl to the left, depending on the wind angle. You can tweak it according to what direction you're facing off the tee. Drive distance there is going to be around 350. Obviously you're going to get much closer to the green. In tailwind you could try and blast it with a berserker, but in headwind we're going to play near the minimum distance line with our sniper. You could see from the min line though, look at that ball guide, it's extremely glitchy. So you're going to have to push up, get yourself a decent landing position and play with more backspin. So find a good position where that ball guide is not going to glitch, because it gives you a good idea that the speed of the shot is going to be correct. 3.5 backspin, a little bit of side spin either way, depending on what is a good point to set up in this headwind angle. Then I'm playing true club distance, 10% elevation. In this example here, I think I played it 20% on the slider. It does need a little bit of a tweak though, and I had to rush my pull slightly, so we missed this just to one side. But just throwing this out there as an option in headwind. Nice to actually play a sniper approach on St Andrews for a change rather than wedges or putts. Just missing right there, but a good chance even in headwind for an albatross with a consistent landing spot. Very easy drive to green here on this par 4. We're going to go with a driver that gives you a distance and also a little bit of topspin. Thor's Hammer is great, extra mile or APOC as well. Now I just have a look at the ball guide here with max topspin, but I don't want to risk any glitch rolls. So in the end I dial that back, going with the Titan for the extra wind push, 6 topspin and 2 left spin. The other good thing about dialing back the topspin is it means this shot will work for a lot more viewers here on the channel. You don't always have 8 bars of topspin on your driver with distance. But I like less topspin on St Andrews because you're not going to get any glitch rolls. Max +0 here, aiming as shown, centering the ball and hitting perfect, and this is very nicely going to get yourself to the green area. Even if you're short in a bit of headwind, you're going to have a very simple wedge for your eagle. And I kind of favour the wedge over a rough iron from the back of the green. That is not going to cause anybody any bother indeed. Okay, here on this par 4, this is a must eagle. It kind of looks like a par 3 with a driver. The APOC is brilliant because you're going to get on the green. Even with a lower level APOC, you're going to be fine. 2 backspin, 3 right spin. I would always play with a side spin 3 ball here, and the Kingmaker is going to reduce the need for any overpower. In headwind, this is going to be playing a little bit different, and you will need a higher power ball, or you go with overpower if you're playing with a power 6. But there are other routes as well. But this is the best route, and you're actually going to see that you will find some hole-in-ones on this par 4. Max curl to the right, max +0 is the adjust, and I'm going with circle drop over power. So just at the point where that power circle drops means we're consistent with the curl. Takes the second bounce and third bounce on the fairway, trickles onto the green. Side spin 4 ball, you could be attacking for the hole-in-one, and certainly in wind angles going from left to right, that is definitely on the cards. Par 3 now, and we're going to play comfortably in long iron range here. We're around mid-distance of club, so no need to worry about playing with Sniper or Goliath here. The Grizzly is good all the way. Here, going with a couple of bars of backspin and a couple of bars of left spin to align with the wind angle, leaving the ball guide intentionally short here. Now, unfortunately, this one comes in a little bit hot. The line was excellent, so I would recommend going with another half a bar of backspin or tweaking the aim so the ball guide is another green square away from the cup. Mid plus 10, obviously the spins are going to vary depending on your wind angle, but just always be conscious to use some left spin so you can aim away from the bunker. Lovely line, just skipping over the hole, but a decent chance with our long iron for a hole-in-one on this par 3. Now, with this hole, it's all about avoiding the bunkers in the middle. Now, you've got a chance on the left side, but there are bumps there that you can see. So in the end, I would always recommend you play on the right side of these bunkers. It's flatter, you're going to reduce the risk of any weird bounces or glitch rolls. So side spin 3-ball is good here because you're going to reduce the curl. And once again, the top spin is going to vary here on St Andrews depending on your wind angle. I would rather go with less and end up with a wedge from the front of the green than be zooming over the green with a glitch roll and trying to save with a rough iron. So between, I would say, depending on the wind angle, 4 to 6 bars of topspin, obviously 6 in headwind, less in tailwind. We're going with outer wall curl to the left here, hitting perfect here as well. Max plus 0 is the adjustment. We don't need the APOC here, you don't need much curl, so extra mile even in lower level is fine, as well as Thor's Hammer in lower level as well. Holding the green nicely and a very easy putt. On this par 4 then, it is going to be a nice simple shot to green, especially in direct tailwind here. Going with the Apocalypse, but you could play this shot with an extra mile and Thor's Hammer. Any of those clubs, power and topspin will be needed. Now, I'm using a Titan here, stretching out to absolute max, because I'm going to overpower this shot. Spins as shown, you will need to vary the spins according to your wind strength, and obviously this is an aggressive line. If you have direct headwind, you're not going to reach over there with a power 6 ball. You would need to lay up, play with top spin, left spin and left curl rather than going directly over the rough. Max plus 0, full overpower with a slow needle, and outer wall curl to the right in this instance. Of course, if you're low on top spin or distance driver, you could play this with a higher power ball, but we're getting onto the green here and you are going to see some aggressive approaches on this hole. You will see some threatening for the hole-in-one as well. Right then, a very tricky par 3 here, and by no means dialed in. This is actually one of the worst wind angles you can get because we're going to adjust high onto that mound there on the fairway. 1 backspin, 3 left spin. I would always recommend going with at least a side spin 3-ball. If you've got a side spin 4-ball, you can set even more to the right. Take the bunker and the hump out of the equation. But here you will see me adjust up onto the mound, so I compensate with a couple of clicks of underpower, but it's not enough. This is a tough par 3. It will need some practice tokens if you want to try and dial this in, though. Unfortunately, the fairway is that bumpy, it's incredibly difficult to get a landing spot that is good. You could try the Guardian with a max backspin. You could try Sand Bump. I had a quick look at it, but it is a little bit glitchy. Just skimming the left edge, but we're safely on for a birdie. I think an eagle here at hole-in-one is going to be quite tough to dial in. This par 4 here, I'm going to stretch out and add some spin, visualise where that ball guide's going using the Thor's Hammer, but I'm actually going to shoot with the APOC. I want to clear the bunker with my first bounce. 4 top spin, 2 left spin, going with the Titan there for the wind push rather than a Kingmaker. And there we see I can land comfortably past the bunker. If you don't fancy playing this route, you could play out to the left where the left edge of my white ring is with top spin, second bounce into the rough and then trickle out to the green, but you might need more top spin or maybe go with a big topper or a higher power ball. Max plus 0, no overpower here, just hitting perfect, and then this one is going to clear the bunker easily and then trickles down the right-hand side of the green, and we're going to have a very, very easy wedge for our eagle from there. Onto this par 4 then, and again tailwind has been given to me here very nicely, but still crosswind, you've got a good chance of making it to the fringe as well. Now, I'm aiming here with 5.8 topspin, 2 right spin, second bounce nicely over the rough, and you see I'm taking a shortcut over the rough which isn't too wide, so going over that narrower strip of rough, but I'm going to play with right curl to take that pot bunker out of the equation rather than going directly over more rough, because it's hard to topspin out of that. But you could go directly at it, removing the need for curl if you wish. Again, variety of drivers here, Extra Mile 8+, Thor's Hammer, Apocalypse, all very, very good indeed. Half a ball of curl to the right, hit perfect, bouncing comfortably there, not threatening the rough, and rolling up for a very, very simple wedge. Max plus 10 is the adjustment in this wind angle. Onto this par 5 now, and we have a little bit of headwind, so I'm going to set up the top of plus 4 with APOC 5 and above. That will be at the top of plus 10 with APOC level 4. 5.5 top spin, half a bar of left spin. In direct headwind, I would play this with 6 top spin. Tailwind, reduce it down to between 4.5 and 5 bars of top spin, depending on your club's power. Max minus 5. We want to lay up on this fairway without threatening the rough on the end. We're going to be easily within sniper range for the second shot. So you don't need to push this right to the edge of the fairway. Just play it comfortably and safely. Max minus 5. Drive distance here is going to be around 350. Now from there we can play a sniper fairly close to min distance. There's the minimum distance line. I have a look at the ball guide there. Unfortunately, the fringe does come into play if I'm going to be adding spin. So I'm pushing up a few rings here, about 5 or 6 rings, so that I can get rid of any glitchy parts around the fringe where the fairway joins the green. Adding a little bit of spin just to get that ball guide just beyond the hole by about 1 or 2 green squares, depending on your wind angle. In headwind, of course. Tailwind, you would need it short of the hole. Offsetting also slightly to the left because the wind is going to push me to the right. I would recommend you play this shot true club distance plus 5 elevation. Here I played about 12 or 13% on the slider, hitting perfect. This was my first look at this hole, and very pleased. Got the albatross here, got rid of any glitchy parts on the fringe, and we drop it right at the pin. Another par 4 here, and again we are going to try and get to the green, and we're going with 5.8 top spin, a 2 bars side spin to the right, setting up there max distance with a power 6 ball with the APOC 5 and above. Extra Mile 8 would work here as well. In the end, I actually back off though from max. I want to try and use curl to thread the needle between those 2 bunkers. So I go to top of plus 10, and also that means that APOC 4 could play this shot as well. Max plus 0 is going to be my adjustment here. We don't need much elevation off the tee on St Andrews. And then we're going to go with full overpower. It will be quite a shaky needle with APOC 4, but it's semi-shaky with APOC 5 plus. 3/4 ball curl to the right. I do hit a great right here. It's going to be absolutely fine. It may not have been fine with the Extra Mile level 8, but there is room for a great ball, and that's a setup that I like. We're getting onto the green here. And just for those who are wondering, I'm actually going to show you the setup for the putt, because it looks like it's a massive putt, but it is downhill. So pulling the ball back here, the needle is not shaking at all, so there is no overpower required. On to this par 4, nice and straight, not many bunkers going to bother us here, but we have headwind. So we're going to set up with the quarterback, blue ring touching the rough on the right at P6 max rest. Then we switch to Extra Mile, Thor's Hammer or APOC. 5.8 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the right. Titan or Kingmaker, absolutely fine. Adjustment here, max minus 5. Max minus 5. And this wind angle, we're not going to get to wedge range, unusually, on St Andrews. We're going to have a thorn, but it's still going to be a very good chance for a drop. Full overpower, little bit of curl to the right, hitting perfect with a slow needle, and we're getting this one down very nicely. Obviously, in tailwind, you are going to get a lot nearer the green, but here, 365, you can play rings from min, thorn, so find the min line. Then look, you can see I get a different response from the ball guide going over the fringe, so I want to aim on the green with my first bounce. Otherwise, we're going to risk having inconsistent bounces. So count the rings from min, and then we're needing to add a little bit of top spin or back spin depending on your wind angle. I'm going to play 10% elevation. For every ring you push up from min, it's 1% on the slider. So if I pushed up 8 rings, you would play 8% slider. If you pushed up 13 rings, you would play 13% slider, and so on. Very good opportunity, rings from min, pulling over the bullseye on this one. Obviously, tailwind, you want to leave that ball guide a little bit short of the hole. Direct headwind, you need it going about 1 green square through the hole. But a very good chance nonetheless. And there you see, we've got it right here, hit the pin, and we fall for an eagle. Right, a narrow fairway on this par 4. We can still get to green, especially with a tailwind angle. Max plus 0 is going to be the adjustment here. And again, you don't have to have an APOC level 5 to play this shot. Going to add spin, 5.8 top spin, 2 left spin. Extra mile, 8 plus is going to be fine here as well. If you've got a really low account, you could get down there with a big topper. Unsure if you're going to get to the green. But, you know, a distance driver is always better if you have it. Thor's hammer, very good option as well. P6 max rest, adjust max plus 0. Full overpower, it is a slow needle as I'm not pushing up to max club. And we're going with half a ball of curl to the left. Hitting perfect on this one. It's going to bounce down and go round the middle of the fairway, not threatening the rough or the sand. And we're rolling up to the green, and we're going to have a very makeable wedge for our eagle. Finally, we have the famous, or one of the famous holes from St Andrews, that view to the buildings there. And we're going to go max plus 10 here. This is going to be a case of get it to green, or the front fringe in all wind angles. You might need to go with a higher power ball if you don't want to play with full overpower in headwind. But any form of crosswind or tailwind, you've got to get it down there. It is simple as that. If you've got more topspin, you could use it, but of course there is always a risk of a glitch roll. So I would rather play safe and have a chip in from the front of the green rather than trying to save it from the road or the rough at the back. And you can see the spins I'm using, I just max plus 10. I do not push up because I want a max overpower needle, which is nice and slow and makes it easy for me to hit perfect. However, there's really no hazards that you're going to fall into unless you hook or slice this ball. You are going to be close to the green. A small push-up or more top spin would get us a shorter wedge. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck. See you soon. Bye for now.